Tourette syndrome awareness. Eyelash extensions, tattoos, piercings, and being a body piercer. There is a chance, also in the haircuts, there's a chance of taking, during getting any of these services. I'm a professional body piercer. I have been for 22 years. If I feel like if I'm having a few tics or whatever, I will make sure clients tell them that they'll have to wait a few minutes or whatever to make sure it stops or fades before I continue on with their piercing. So I'm not going to risk injuring anybody by twitching a needle into them in the wrong spot. So I always make sure that I'm able to stay steady and be good for anything I do like that. That's one reason why I don't want to do tattoos, because it's a lot more than a quick push to get the needles through or to get anything done. And also I don't have that great skills. Definitely when I'm trying to draw stuff, my hands twitch a lot, so it'll be good. But I have had quite a few times when I was getting haircuts or getting lash extensions or just any type of personal or beauty service, and when I've ticked during when I was getting done and ended up with when my hair was down to here, and I was only planning on getting just a trim, maybe half an inch off at most, and I ended up, the girl was had my hair, she was just kind of but she was about to cut herself from the back, and I had a hard to take, my whole head twitched back as she was chopping or cutting with the scissors, and it ended up taking out a chunk of, because more hair ended up in between the scissors, and because my head shook, and I ended up with one chunk in the back, just super short, and she was she was so worried and scared and just felt so bad, and I was no, that's not your fault. I'm I have Tourette's, I can't control my movements. I know this is a possibility and a risk that I'm willing to take, but he doesn't want my attention at all until I start talking and start recording a video, and then once I stop, he's gonna walk away and not want my attention again. But so she was I need to make it better, I need to do something to fix it. And what she ended up working out, because the haircut that she gave me was much nicer than and way better than what I was just planning on getting. So sometimes that has some beneficial outcomes, but most of the time not. I've definitely had most hairdressers that have ended up taking off more hair than expected when I've had ticked, when they're cutting, don't tell me, and then just let me leave with some really messed up botched haircut that's where in one spot in the back or something, or it's just much shorter than the rest, and just so that sucks, because they can at least let me know that they accidentally took more hair out than they meant to, because tell me that or if I just don't take as drastically or as noticeably, because if I just kind of a subtle or light tick or whatever, I'm just gonna assume that they are able to handle just a slight movements or whatever, if I'm not, because people move around, and but when it's my whole head shakes back and forth drastically, obviously that's me, and I'm gonna notice it or realize that I probably fucked that up myself. But if I was just something small like that, I'm gonna assume the hairdresser knows I can handle that light bit of shaking, and I'm not gonna think that they took much off, and so I'm gonna be really upset if I find out that there's a large chunk missing out of the back or somewhere, and it's super uneven or just super botched just because of something. It's the most minor of movements, which happens during a lot for majority of haircuts I've gotten, which is unfortunate. So I don't really I stupidly was stressed right out after dealing with some stuff this week, and was all shaky, and decided to cut my bangs. Don't mind them, they're really horrible and way too short right now. Definitely choosing alcohol next time I'm stressed out and like, need something to do to keep myself distracted because these are awful. I don't like my forehead showing. First time I got lash extensions, I happened to tick like when the girl was putting some glue on my eye, or was putting like glue or like lashes or just somewhere in the process, but it ended up gluing my eye shut because it got like in more places than not. So like then I had to sit there like with my own eye like went after the end with one eye like this like barely even opening, and then have her and her like boss like coming in like trying to like get the like glue off my eye without like totally like undoing the lashes too. So like that was weird. And I only had my lashes done twice. The second time I had a tick and the girl just refused to finish them. But I didn't even take hard. I was just kind of like, I was like, this is another kind of like, seemed more like a shudder, like if I shivered or something. And she's like, you're not staying completely still. She's like, she's like, I can't do this. She's like, that's too much for me. I was like, I'm like, what if I was just cold? I was like, what if I just, because I informed her beforehand that like I had Tourette's and I will do my best to stay still. And if like not, like I don't mind if I have to pay more for, if it takes her longer to finish it than otherwise, because if I happen to have a tick or something. And it wasn't even a big one, like she's only got like half, or like, it was like, I think there's like only like 5 like lashes on each eye, like you can barely tell that I even had any. So that sucked. I think she was just kind of, I don't know what her deal was, because like I've definitely seen I've been like seen the other girls like getting their lashes done like at the same time, or like before my eyes are glued shut, and like they're like moving around a lot just because they're talking to the lash tech and stuff. So I don't know. I probably I have a feeling if I didn't tell her I had Tourette's beforehand that it might not have gone the same. Since yeah, she's like, you can't sit still. She's like, yeah. So she even told me it was my Tourette's. It was like it was stressing her out. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And yeah, people like to overreact to tics, then think that they're so problematic seeing someone else do them, when even when they're like not like verbal or touching or doing inappropriate gestures. Getting tattoos and piercings, and that are always a risk that I'm willing to take because I love my body mods. Obviously, like, but yeah, I've definitely ticked during tattoos. Thankfully, at least it wasn't too bad, so like it's easy to fix. Like if the ink kind of got ended up in the wrong spot, but most of the time, if I feel like if I have a tattoo appointment booked and like I happen to be ticking a lot like that day, I will I'll call and like tell them like, I'm sorry, like I have to reschedule, like my Tourette's is like being way too bad. I'm not gonna be able to like stay still, and I can't, so I'm not gonna want to waste your time by trying to tattoo me when it's gonna be a challenge for both of us. Most places, even though like some have lost my deposit once because of this, most places have actually been understanding about that and just have scheduled me for like a week later or something, and didn't make me pay another deposit, which was nice. But I got my bats on my knee, on my inner knee, like my foot wouldn't stop twitching the entire time, but I was like trying to keep it still. And the girl thought that she was hurting me, but I was like, no, like I've got a twitch in my foot, and like I think it's just because of going. She's like, oh yeah, there's some nerves over on that side of the knee. I was like, yeah, probably, because like it was like just as soon as I got to like one part, it was like I was kind of a little kind of twitchy in my like head and stuff, but so most of my foot was like like thumper, like the little rabbit from Bambi, just like. I've actually never ticked at all while getting a piercing from anyone, which is great, but also surprising. But yeah, it's still a risk that I'm willing to take because I know it could happen at one point. Yeah, these are just my personal experiences. Like other people, Tourette's might have a better experiences getting any type of service done, but yeah. Thanks.